This is tiny city life in Gansu province. This place is so tiny that it's not even on the tier system. And over here by the gate, we have lone kung fu guy practicing his moves. Take somebody's eye out with that thing. This group has snagged the prime spot. They were like, are you used to the food here? Can you adapt to not having hamburgers every day? I'm Katherine, an American living in China, and one thing that fascinates me the most about this country is its vibrant nightlife scene, where people are just vibing in dozens of unique ways, completely substance-free. Today, we're in an obscure corner of northwest China, biking from Ningxia to Gansu, and we're gonna show you a little taste of the local nightlife. And of course, lots of day life as well, from cities and towns.
期待明天去上学吗？
非常的不期待。我讨厌老师那样哇哇哇哇哇说话。
To quiet villages. Check out this contraption. And even to the top of a mountain. Would you look at that? There's actually somebody living up here. One lonely little house. Our journey begins from the little city of Jingyuan in Ningxia. We have arrived in the first city of our stay here in Ningxia. This is Jingyuan. It is basically a microscopic city by the standards of most of the country, but also very cute. Look at this gate behind me. This place is so tiny, there's basically no chance of seeing a fellow foreigner here. So the local kids did not pass up on the opportunity to take a photo with this rare specimen. This bro is like, what? He's looking at us like we came from another planet. But my husband Asadon did manage to find some of his Uyghur brethren running a non-shop. Look at this happy boy. He found a non-stand here. A Xinjiang non-stand. Alright guys, who's right? Should we break it apart and be civilized, or just tear into it like an animal? Anyway, check that off the list. Now for another Northwest classic, hand-pulled noodles. One of our cheapest meals yet. About $1 for this whole bowl of noodles. Of course, there's not much else in it other than noodles. But still, it's pretty cheap for a bowl of freshly hand-pulled noodles.
$1.
We got a few little scraps of radish in here. There's some beef in here somewhere. Yeah. You can add extra if you feel it's inadequate. But this is the baseline package for 8 yuan. Look at those beautiful hand-pulled noodles. 太好了，谢谢. Yes, look at this. I requested extra radishes because gotta get my nutrients in, you know? Anyway, Jingyuan is so tiny that there actually isn't a lot to show you guys. Here is the city square, here's the snack shop, look at all the cute little cubbies. Aside from the wrapped candy on the left, most of it is nuts and seeds. There don't seem to be a lot of processed snacks here. Here is the soccer field, which also doubles as a kite flying zone. And here is the mud pie factory. So refreshing to see kids playing outdoors instead of on their phone. Asadon's making a friend.
当时我也每天都玩。你们怎么不玩手机了呀？
哎呀，我奶奶叫我出来，所以我玩。就是我们两个在家里面玩手机。在家里玩手机没啥好用的。啊，怎么你拿我把手机拿都不出来你就啊？
期待明天去上学吗？
非常的不期待。
为什么呀？
我讨厌老师那样哇哇哇哇哇说话。
And just past this little bog is the end of the city. Have a gander at village life in Ningxia. Asadon made a friend. We found the cutest one yet. 这个是所有里面最可爱的。Here's another one. 2 minutes down the road. 你们这么小一个村2个清真寺。
这有3个清真寺，那后面那边还有一个。
Here in Jingyuan, over half of the population is the Muslim Hui people, which is why we keep seeing mosques around here. And on the other side of the mountain, the population is mostly Han. and we'll be back to seeing shrines and Buddhist temples.
Say goodbye to Jingyuan, everyone.
You might be surprised that the two sides are so different, but it's a big mountain, okay? It took us all day to get up that puppy.
The road up ahead is apparently closed to cars, but bikes can get through, so we should be having a peaceful route today. The only other people we've seen on this road all morning. They put this net here to stop pieces of rock from falling onto the road. Look how many rocks this thing has caught over the years. Ascent says shunchlik, mazlik, tofu korumasi, italkensis. Look at this road we just dragged ourselves up. It's fine though. No time was wasted because we spend all this time reviewing Uyghur words.
Wow.
Check it out, snow. Somehow, in April, and it's actually so hot during the day nowadays, but this snow is still alive. Look at all the snow. I guess this is why the road is closed, because there's still snow up here. It is spring down there in the village and it is winter up here. I think they'll open it soon though, because the trees are starting to blossom. There are bugs landing in the snow. Like, what is this? The snow is so thick, we don't even need the kickstand. The bike just stands on its own. That's where we came from, all the way up. Green Zhejiang. We are almost to the top. Time for a little treat. Some spicy naan that we carried all the way up this mountain.
Biz Uyg'urlarda qarang'uruq ya. Safarlarda mushtaq non kam bo'lmaydi da. Qisqa safar bo'lsin yoki bizdagi mushtaq uzun safar bo'lsin. Cho'qim o'sha nonni olib olamiz. Biz Uyg'urlar uchun non eng muhim. Non bizning jonimiz.
Mendan muhimmi?
Albatta sizmi muhim endi bu non. Endi demakchi bu biz Uyg'urlarning yemek içmek madaniyati.
Ikkidan birine talang, men yoki non.
Avval nonni tanlayman. Nima ish qilsangiz, non bo'lmasa jon bo'lmaydi. Jon bo'lmasa siz bo'lmaysiz. Tushundingizmi? Shunga men avval nonni tanlayman.
Wrong answer. Xata.
Jon bo'lmasa ruqyam.
Mevami yeysiz, go'shtmi yeysiz. Başka narsa var. Aishan would choose the spicy naan over me.
Bundoq ya.
Rahmat.
Biz tamoq keldik do'stlar.
Men muhimmi, non muhimmi? Finally reached the top of this beast. Wow, there's a person up here. 你好，你住在山上呀？ Would you look at that? There's actually somebody living up here at the forest fire prevention station.
他说有没有抽烟那个？
没有，
今天晚上抽烟，
不抽不抽。
要睡不要，给你烧点水。
不要，我们不用了，不用了，我们还有呢。
你就是常住在这个房子里吗？每天？
在这个房常住，总共2个人。
辛苦呀。
哎，不行，不行。混饭吃啊，混饭吃，已经适应很，对这个环境适应了，适应很。
哦。
30年了，在这个环境干了30年了。
哎，怎么会封路呢？什么时候开通这个？
这个路再有几天它就开了，这封了半年了，去年10月份封的。
你们每年冬天都封是吗？
每年冬天都封。如果你骑自行车不影响，你开车，冬季的这半年就不能开车，这个地方不通车。
那你这么上下？
走这个方向，走这个方向，下面那个杆子老有月色。
你多久没看过人过这个路呀？
昨天还见了，灯坏了，领导给我买了个灯，再把这个灯安上了。冬天这个路一封，特别安静，有时候1个礼拜，甚至有10天你都见不上一个人。冬季你看那个雪，有时候那个弯子那个雪就一种厚。
那你怎么下去啊？冬天的时候？
雪厚了就不下去了。
那你得买狗1个月的菜。
就坚持嘛，坚持。
拜拜。
我欢迎再来。
Bye bye. One lonely little house. All alone out here. Off we go, everyone. See you at the bottom. We have returned to human civilization. We're in a little town at the foot of the mountain, and we're heading to the county of Longde, where there'll be more hotels and restaurants and things. We hear a familiar sound. Someone is selling Xinjiang kebabs.
Yaxşı mı?
Yaxşı yaxşı. Uygur mu ya?
Ha, sana Uygur mu?
Uygur. Tüm Uygur. Miyak Uygur emas ki.
Yaxşı mı?
Yok.
Ha, ve üstelik gelgen biz.
本团全体演职演员恭候你的大驾光临。
There is a circus going on tonight, which is the source of all that racket. And there's also this giant market happening. And I'm heading towards what looks to be bed sheets.
河北省吴桥县，本团至此来到贵地做短时间的循环演出，望观众朋友们届时光临新的发源地河北省吴桥县电影中心，精彩排练让你乐开。
你的衣服可以，有意思。
让大开眼界。
The circus is actually located in a kind of middle of nowhere suburby place, but once we got to the city center, even more nightlife revealed itself.
The Dancing Grandma Brigade, a staple of pretty much every single Chinese city, town, even some villages. The village we live in has one. Hacky sack over here. I got here too late, I missed the fan dance. But I got here just in time to see the hacky sack and the fireworks. You could take somebody's eye out with that thing. And over here, we have lone kung fu guy by the gate, practicing his moves. This is life in a small city in Ningxia on a random Monday night. And it's also time to say goodbye to Ningxia because tomorrow we are going to be heading back to Gansu province. People here really love fireworks. Check it out, wind turbine blades. They're so big. We only ever see wind turbines from like super far away, but now that I'm up close, it's like an airplane wing. Look at him. He's a tiny ant next to the windmill blade. We're in this random village right now. Fascinated by this. Is this to like boil water or something? 这么厉害啊？多长时间才能烧开啊？
太阳大的话，半个小时就这样。只有太阳底下可以，有太阳的时候才能烧。如果天气阴的话，就不能烧。
She told us that these have become pretty much obsolete in this day and age because electric kettles are so convenient, but there's also nowhere to put this thing, so a lot of people still have them in their yard. So growing season is about to begin, and the fields are full of big juicy piles of manure. In other words, the best organic fertilizer on earth. She's like, all right, that's enough. Leave me alone.
Well, in my absence, I'll be surely missing you. I've been working every day, and I sure hope your love is too. I never gave you cause to doubt me. Hope you always think about me. And if you think I will find another, it ain't true. Keep the home fire burning while I'm gone. I'll be back to fan the flame, it won't be long. Just a while and then I'm back where I belong. Keep the home fire burning while I'm gone.
肥料吧。
全靠这成么技术。
Someone got out. 看他跑了。Today's best scenery yet. Look at this. This is the biggest body of water we've seen in over a week out here in the dry west. After a day of biking, we have finally returned to Gansu province from Ningxia, and this is the tiny city of Dingning. That is where we're staying tonight. This country boy is enjoying the view. Small city life in Gansu province. Here it is. Hello.
It's beautiful.
We've encountered a teeny tiny culture shock in this part of the country, which is that at a lot of restaurants, when you order food, you have to bring your ticket to the counter in the back, to the kitchen. That's not a thing in most of the rest of the country. Usually you order something and it just gets sent back there through the magic of the internet or whatever. So the first time we came to one of these restaurants, we thought what they were printing was just our receipt. So we just threw it on the table and we're just waiting for our food, and we're just like waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. We're like, where's the food at? And then they were like, you're supposed to put your receipt at the kitchen, and we were like, oops. Sat here for like 15 minutes for no reason.
你是哪个国家的？
美国。
美国。
对。
我们的牛肉面难吃习惯。
当然好吃啊。
好吃啊。
好吃。
你们美国人不是不吃面吗？
对啊，但是我们的面不是手工拉的，机器拉的，不怎么好吃。
哦。
这边的面好吃呀。I've encountered quite a few people over the years who react with genuine surprise when I mention eating noodles and rice in the US. They're like, whoa, we thought you guys just eat bread.
原先他们就这家牛肉面好吃。
是吗？那好呀，选对地方了。And then when your food's ready, they call your number and you have to pick it up yourself. Here's my waiter. Ta-da! Rahmat. 看那么多。The kids are getting off of school right now, and we are heading to Olympic Park to see what's going on. It is a beautiful evening here in Dingning, and we're at the park going for a little stroll. It looks like most of the action is happening in there, so we're gonna go in and poke around. So cute. This is the most popular section of the park. We've got the dancing brigade. While grandmas are definitely the top demographic for these kind of dance groups, there are ones that have different ages and genders as well. There's even a child trying to keep up with the moves. The sun has just barely begun to set and nightlife is already brewing here. Everyone is off of work, done with dinner, and beginning to congregate in these social spots where you can play sports, you can dance, you can walk, you can just frolic in the grass. It's a time for everyone to relax and unwind and hang out after a long, busy day. This is the athletic center where there's a basketball court that John has been counting the milliseconds until we can go to.
There's even a boxing club over here. And now it's time to head indoors.
We are in the basketball and badminton gym. This place is open 7 to 9 every day. No admission fee. Just show up.
这么热闹。可以，不错。
There's so many people that they're just playing badminton in random spots. All the badminton courts are full and there's just like random games going on in between. John's waiting for a moment to strike and join somebody's basketball game.
哦，有粉丝啦！
Dingning is a very tiny city by Chinese standards, but this is not the only nightlife zone. There are actually several of them, and now we're going to check out another one.
Guys, I have found the mother lode of park dancing brigades. Let me show you guys just how many of them are crammed into this one park. This group has snagged the prime spot. In the center of the park, we got one more group here. We got another one here. And this magnificent thing in the background definitely adds to the ambiance. This is tiny city life in Gansu province. This place is so tiny that it's not even on the tier system. So don't ask me what tier it is. It's tier number like 72. It's not on that ranking at all. It's so small. But despite that, it's still very bustling. It's very nice. I actually really love living in a society where nightlife does not just mean bars and clubs. Like, yeah, there is that side of society here. You can find that stuff if you want it. But there's so much more to the nightlife here than just that. But I feel like the word nightlife in the US generally means going out and getting drunk, and that's just not the vibe for everyone, you know? Like, I love how the people who were out on the plaza dancing, like, none of them is under the influence of anything. Like, they're just jamming, they're just having a good time. And I just really love living in a society where nightlife is not centered around alcohol. And you can have a really fun time and ride little scooter things around the plaza and dance and do all kinds of fun things without substances. 你好 Hello
你会中国话吗？
会啊。
也会啊。
会。
你是哪国的？
美国。
对呀。
你骑行了。
对。
外国人到这儿都感到惊奇啊。
There's an intrigued audience around. 这个房子是什么呀？有多少年历史呀？
这没有多少年，96年的。
那这里原来是什么呀？
原来就是一个大坑，一个大土坑，就来了个新当官的，就把这就修起来了。
They came at me with the whole hamburger and bread thing again. They were like, "Are you used to the food here? Can you adapt to not having hamburgers every day?" I was like, "Girl, come on."
Indeed, adjusting to local cuisine is not as big of a challenge as these people seem to think it is. The diversity of dishes from different regions around the country and the intensity of the flavors is something that I miss when I go back to the US, not the other way around. From the hand-pulled noodles to the vibrant nightlife, life in China is pretty good. Even in these really tiny random places that the vast majority of you guys have never even heard of. And that's what's kept me here all these years. And of course, this boy. Anyway, tomorrow he and I will be continuing our journey towards Lanzhou, and many more interesting sights await. Remember to comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next vlog.